Hey honey badgers. So I thought I would do a little bit of a project vlog for this one. Nothing too in-depth. I've been working on this one a little bit for the, spooky season. And there were a number of edits I had to make that wasn't quite expecting. I think when I first hauled this in the video, I don't know if I did, maybe I didn't do, I think I hauled this in something. I'll link them down below, but in the videos I mentioned these canvases. I just did a size comparison not too long ago. The video for that should be just a couple videos back for this canvas, the Thick Thighs Spooky Vibes one. This is the 40 by 40 I showed in that video. I'll try to link down below where to find this one if it's still available and you're interested. But when I hauled this one and when I hauled the 30 by 31. I think originally when I hauled the 30 by 31, that's when I had mentioned that looking at it, I would probably have to make a couple edits. One of the areas I was concerned about was this part here, the A. I mentioned that I was probably going to have to edit that just a little bit so you could actually read it because it was all very dark. So I did what I mentioned in that video and I put just like a light dot in the middle. That was originally graphed as like a dark brown or something, if I remember right. And I tried doing different shades of brown from my spares and it looked weird. It still looked like a blob. So I just went back in and put a light dot in there. There's still there's a B, which I think was a 823 drill that's supposed to go underneath that. But again, I'll probably have to figure out another color to put underneath that's a lighter shade, because I feel like if I put an 823 blue in there, that's that it's not quite as dark as the 939 blue, but it's still pretty dark, and I feel like if I put that underneath it, it's gonna look like a blob again. So yeah, I'll probably put a lighter drill down in there because I figured, the background is all moon anyway, so it'll still work with the picture. But yeah, I had to do some edits because even at the 40 by 40 size, I was running into some issues with just things not being very defined once I got into the different sections. Like here, you see this is supposed to be the spider hanging down here, but again, it's got that blobby feel to it. You can just barely make out where maybe its legs are supposed to be, but even when I put the drills down for there, I'm not sure it's going to come out that well. I did manage to salvage the cobwebs, spider webs. These were all a whole bunch of different colors originally graphed, but I went in and did, I forget what color this was, but I did sort of like a dusty brown color from my spares and just did that for the spider webs all together. In the centers, I put a couple of ABs, like the dark green, dark purple ABs. And then the kit also came with some sort of that military green color that was graphed in there. I kept that in the centers. And then this one had a little bit of dark blue in the center, so I left that there because it didn't look too bad. The text was all different colors, like it tends to be with diamond kits. They put, for some reason, like 8 different colors in text. So like a lot of diamond painters do, I just did straight, well, almost straight 310. There's a little bit of 823 in there because I figured it's close enough to the 310, you're not going to really see a difference. And I thought, it could be interesting to give it a little bit of variation, but not where it's like, because originally the way it was graphed, they had like the dark browns and the purpley tones and stuff and a little bit of green here, and it makes it look messy, in my opinion, when there's too many colors in the text. So yeah, I just made that almost all bulk 310 and just tried to figure out the lines the best I could doing that, because that's the thing with text. When you go back in to just do straight color, you do have to think a little bit about where the lines are gonna start and stop, because it's not always easy to figure out with like where the shading is and how they plot the different colors and stuff on the graph. You have to kind of think about each word and each letter, but eventually I got there and it got to where it was legible again. And then I think something similar with the hat. That was a bunch of different colors, but I just went in and made that just 310. And then what I ended up doing was the buckle part. I used a sort of silvery, it's not quite the gunmetal one, it's the little bit lighter silver one. And then I put a purple crystal in the center of that. That's all from my spares, doesn't come with the kit. And then the broom. I think the broom was all graphed as 310, so I did a little bit of creative work in there because, again, I didn't want it to all just blend together and just be a big black blobby mess in the middle. I wanted you to be able to see different sections when you look at it. So this I just ended up doing in different tones of brown from my spares. And then I think I also borrowed some of the browns from other places in this and used it there. And then I put a couple of green ABs, light green ABs on the center, well, not really the center, but you know, the part of the broom where everything is sort of bound together to make the flare out part of the broom. That section I put in a couple of green ABs to distinguish that. And then did the actual bristles of the brush in different browns instead of just all black. So those are the few edits I made up there. Down at the bottom, what did I do? I used some ABs, as you can see, in this pumpkin. Didn't do anything AB-wise with this pumpkin back here, but what I did realize when I got into this was that you see this dark brown here on this middle gnome's hat. That was all graphed originally for not only his hat, but the background and the pumpkin just all together. Was supposed to be that color. And again, I hit a spot where I was like, that's just going to be a big old color mess. So what I decided to do was, I think I did the pumpkin in 720 orange that I had left over from a kit I did not too long ago. I had it still sitting on my desk, so I was like, oh yeah, that'll work. So I ended up doing that little guy. Again, this was another spot where I had to figure out where the pumpkin probably stopped and the background was. That was a little bit tricky to figure out this edge here, but I think I got it. So I did 720 around this, and then I forget what color this was, but this was a different shade of brown that I pulled from my spare drills. That wasn't quite as dark as this, but a little bit darker than that, so I figured it would work well for a background. And I just ended up mixing that all into the background because I figured it would also help back here behind this gnome and back here behind this gnome, just to break up that background area. So it's not, because this brown in the hat was also over here, so I figured once I get over here I was going to run into the same problem of it all blurring together. So this brown I did use on the hats and a little bit on the faces here, and then this middle kind of brown that I pulled from my drills, spare drills, I used in the background so that it was just a slight shade different enough to create that shading so you can see where things stop and start. So that was one area I worked on. And then what else did I change? Oh, this down here, I decided to do the candles in mostly ABs and crystals. This is probably all I'll do for this. The rest of it I'll probably do in standard colors. But yeah, I did the drippy wax edge in red crystal I had for my spares, and then the candle flame I did a mix of really light pink AB and white AB, because I'll tell you why I've been making these edits here. I looked at the candle and the beards and the pumpkin. This was supposed to be sort of a whitish pumpkin over here, and then you see this flower over here. All these places you see the white or the eye symbol. That is supposed to be number 8, 819. Let me show you what 8 is. It's that light pink color. And then the other one is J symbol, and J symbol is a kind of like that peachy tone they use for a lot of skin tone colors. So these pinkish tones are what they put in for the pumpkin, all of the beard, the flower over here. See what I'm talking about? It's all like, again, it's that like swipe of color all over everything. That's why I'm having to do a lot of edits on this, because I just started looking at it going, that's not gonna look right. Because the thing that caught my attention first is when I was looking at this thinking the pinkish tones in gnome beards, I just thought was gonna be odd. So yeah, not sure. I'll have to think about it. I don't want this thing to be too pinkish looking. I don't mind a little bit of pink, like maybe up in the moon. That could look kind of cool. And maybe a little bit in the flower petals over here, and possibly in the background. I can make that work. But mostly, since it's supposed to be spooky themed, I would like the moon areas and the gnome beards and the pumpkins that look like they're supposed to be white graft here, and on the rest of the candle here, I would like all of that to be in white and gray tones, so that it kind of makes sense, because like you got creepy trees and lightning strikes and stuff over here, and it's just, I don't know, this is a interesting color choice for all of that. So that's what I've been working on. So this has been taking a little bit longer than I anticipated, because I'm trying to build out all these sections so it makes sense and it's not just one big color wash all over the place. Because there's only 21 colors in this altogether, but by the time I'm done, there's probably going to be closer to 30 by all the areas I had to edit. But it'll be worth it, because I am really liking how this is coming out. So far, it's just taking a little bit of patience. Oh, and then the boo area, I did the lettering there in purple crystal from my spares, so that would pop out a little bit better. I think that's as far as I got so far. I think the next area I was going to start trying to knock out was the background browns. So all of the A sections back in here, whoops, not frame, back in here, all of the A's up here behind the moon. And then I don't know if there's any down in the gnomes. Don't think so. I think that was mostly the background bulk. So I was going to knock that out. I don't think I'll be changing that. I'm fine with, oops, it's sticking. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm fine with this color being in the background. And then the other one is more of that military kind of olive drab green. That is all of the H's, which is mostly up on this side and over here. I was going to knock those out because those are one of the more faint symbols. And then once I get these two done, that's when I was going to jump into figuring out what to do as far as grays and whites in place of these pinkish tones. Because I'll probably use these a little bit here and there, but not nearly as much as they graft, which is fine because these are pretty common colors as far as, you know, when I do portraits of people, these colors, like I mentioned, they tend to come up in a lot of like skin tone colors and stuff. So it's great to have bulk of these in on hand for other projects. So yeah, just thought I would do a little chat about everything I've been editing on this so far, so that when you see the finished product and I get to the completion reel portion of all of this, I just wanted a video to be on hand. So in case you ordered this and you start working on it and you start thinking back to what you saw mine look like and you were like, wait, mine's coming out different. I just wanted there to be a video of like all the things I changed, so that it's not, you're not like, wait, I got a different kit. It's like, no, you probably got the same one. I just started getting into mine and being like, oh no, I'm not happy with that. So yeah, just thought I would talk through working on this and the edits I've been figuring out here and there. And yeah, I'll come back when we're a little bit further along and see how it came out. All right, update. So much confetti. But it's like quiet confetti. It's like, you know, it's insidious confetti. So I got the background mostly done. Most of the colors done, actually. I think I'm down to just a couple colors now. I still have these pale ones that I showed in the last bit, I think. Still need to work on those. And then I've got a little bit of the brown and orange to knock out, and I think that's it. So probably do the brown and the orange, knock that out real quick, and then the other parts I'm working on, the last little bits of edits, is figuring out how I want the pumpkins and the beards to go, because as I said, this is like, when I pulled this out, it's like really pink looking. So I'm trying to figure out, I'll still use that in some places. I'm just trying to figure out where to edit it into something else, a different color. So this, where all the F is, that's this kind of darker pink color. And that was plotted in some of the sections of the beard. And I just thought that was a really weird color for a beard. I don't know, unless you're eating berries or something and it dyes your white beard that color, maybe. But just in general for gnomes, I thought that was kind of a weird color choice for their beards. So I decided not to use that in the beard. But with moon backgrounds, you can get a little bit loose with the colors because, there's no one way to make a moon look. There's craters and different colorings and stuff in all kinds of art, and even when you see pictures of the moon, it's the real moon itself, there's a lot of color variation, and the topography is kind of all over the place, so you can get a little bit loose with the color translations in art when it comes to moon coloring. So I figured I'd go ahead and keep this pink in, because it's just like a little bit of this streak here, and then a little bit up here, I think, and at the top there above the word, let me see, above the word thick, you see a little bit of a band there. So I'll keep it in there. Where else was it? Oh, I think it was also plotted in the candle down here, but I think that's kind of a little bit dark for the candles, so I'll probably do something else there. And then this very light pink, it's that it's almost a white, but it's got enough of a pink tone that it's noticeably like, okay, that's not completely white, that's got pink in it. So I've been trying to figure out where to use that, because again, I was a little bit iffy on using it in beards, but when I started, actually, I did it a little bit here, and as you can see, when you mix it in with the, I think this was 415 gray, when you mix it in with this gray, it doesn't look too bad, so I'll probably keep it for, I did this one, I think I finished this one in this, and I also, in place of the darker pink where it was plotted, what did I do with that bag? I pulled out my spares and I found a 3770 leftover bag from something, so I did that blend instead, and it came out a little bit softer on the beard, and I like how that looks. Because the other thing was some of that beard is going behind the word boo, and I just thought if you put that in, it's going to be too clashy and it might obscure how that reads. So I thought it would just make the wording look cleaner if I just did lighter colors behind that. So I like how that one came out. The pumpkins, I'm still trying to figure out. What I'm thinking I might do is I found this kind of, it's sort of, it almost looks like a dirty white almost, but like a little bit of a light gray somewhere in between there. And I'm thinking what I might do is use this color on this guy's beard, finish out this guy's beard in the color combination I did on this guy, finish it out the same way, because I did start that process on this guy, so I'll finish out his beard that way. But then I figured I'd do this guy in this lighter gray color just to make him look just a little bit different. And make him, I don't know, he's like the elder elf, I don't know. And then what I thought I could do is, the other issue I had was, you see where all this white, the eye symbol is, that's where that lighter pink, whitish pink color was supposed to go, but it was plotted for both the flower and the pumpkin. So to break all that up, I thought I would do the flower in something different. I tried a bunch of different like light purples, light pinks, and everything I was trying was just blending too much together. And I wanted something that was going to pop that flower out so that it didn't just look like a messy continuation of the pumpkin. So I ended up doing a 820 blue that I had from my spares. And then I also pulled out some of the gray that I was originally plotted in there. I pulled some of that back out and put more blue in so that it looked a little bit more cohesive to all that. And then what I'm thinking I'm going to do is the same gray I was going to use for this guy, put this gray over here, whatever's left, put it in here. And then for the other pumpkin over here, the main pumpkin, and then maybe also the white in the candles, I found a spare bag of, I think it was supposed to be a 5200, but I think it's like a cheaper quality, and it's only this tiny pack, so it's not like that bright, like good grade 5200 drill quality, but because it came from some other discount, cheap kit I had from some other time ago, I figured it'd be fine in this to do this pumpkin and the white in the candles. And then that should take care of all of this. And then I'm thinking for the moon, I'll just go ahead and keep using this, the pinkish white that was plotted for it, because I think it'll look fine there. So I think that's all the edits I made. Oh, I'm noticing that there's a little bit of F plotted up in the background. I'm kind of curious now. I just spotted that. I didn't realize that was that darker pink, but let's see. Let's just do this on camera and I'll see how well that blends in. It might be all right. I don't know. It's such a weird color to be worked into this. And yeah, I don't love that color for that background there, so I'll have to think of something else for that. I have been using this on the noses because, it makes sense on the nose since it's sort of, they're out in the elements. The noses can be a little bit darker, so I'll show you here. See, it looks fine on the nose. It's just pink in the beard is weird to me because I used the darker pink on his nose and you see it looks perfectly fine. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm gonna finish that out, figure out what to do with the background because I don't know, it's a little, I don't know, it's not blending in enough for a background for me for this color, but I'll still use it on the moon. And just figure out something else for these other patches. So yeah, I'm going to try to finish this out today. There's not too much left to do, as you can see. Once I get the pinks worked out, I think I can go in and knock out the white or the pinkish white in the moon pretty quick because that'll just be a little color blocking in a hurry. So yeah, we'll come back in a little bit and see how all this turned out. I really want to try to finish this today because it is a really nice fall day today. It's sunny, it's not too cold, it's just like a tiny breeze. It's perfect for getting a completion reel for this. So I'm going to try and knock this out. And I'll do like the normal completion reel I typically upload over on my shorts channel, or not channel, but the playlist for the shorts tab on this channel. I usually try to do a shorts reel for every completion I have. So I'll do a normal one over there, but I'll also try to include a version of that for this video. So we'll see you in a little bit.